I'm also a active sergeant in the Army National Guard. So as
Appreciate
somebody
you.
that would call you my commander-in-chief if you got
Yeah.
elected, you kind of already touched on it quite a bit with defense budget and spending. How would you bolster that side? And then what would you go with the national debt being astronomical right now? What things would you possibly go after to knock down or
Balance it, yeah.
balance it out a little bit?
Absolutely. It's a great question because I do believe we need to spend more. Unlike Trump and Cruz, I believe that. And by the way, Marco Rubio, who's a great guy, believes in increased defense spending, but he claims he has foreign policy experience because he goes to committee hearings to, talk about, have smart people come advise him. I think you'd want to have someone who actually has been a commander-in-chief of in this case, the Florida National Guard, who's called 150 loved ones of people that died, Floridians that died in the line of duty, that understands that war is a huge sacrifice for people, that made it possible for, we had a $5 million fund when our Guard were sent overseas. If their spouse had a problem, they could call the Adjutant General and get a loan. Whether they paid it back or not was not as relevant. They knew they had, if their freezer broke, they didn't have any food for their kids, they knew that they could go to the Guard because our legislature and their governor took care of them. We were across the board focused on this. I think 8 years as governor, traveling overseas, living overseas, being involved overseas in trade missions and across the board, having dealt with world leaders, is a far better experience than going to some committee hearing at the Foreign Relations Committee or something like that. Anyway,